Zombie apocalypse.
Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. As you can see, we have a lovely visual novel up with us today called Ninefold Promise. I did find this lovely gem on itch.io. Now, the idea of what is going on is that we have woken up next to someone who, keep in mind, we don't recognize, but evidently they are our boyfriend of 3 years. So we're gonna figure out what's going on with all this nonsense. But I absolutely adore this art style so far. It's adorable. I'm excited to see what the rest of it looks like, and I hope you guys are ready to take this journey with me. So let's get started. Oh, actually, before we do get started, I do know that there is some voice acting that is in the game, so you guys don't have to suffer through me specifically through all the voices. So now let's go ahead and get started. Choose your pronouns. I am a they, themer. I woke up slowly, the warmth of another body pressed against me. For a moment, it felt comforting, familiar even. But as my eyes adjusted to the dim light filtering through the curtains, my pulse began to quicken. All I remembered was waking up from a nap beside my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. The realization sent ice through my veins and I froze. My breathing hitched, and I forced myself to stay still. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe I was still dreaming. But then he stirred beside me, his arm tightening around my waist.
Good morning.
I can hear him now. It's okay. We'll work with it. I stared at him dead in the face. This seemed too real. He shifted again, this time propping himself up on one elbow. I felt his gaze burning into me before I turned to meet it. The man, or whatever he was, had a face so perfect, it bordered on unreal. I tried to pull away.
What's wrong?
Around me, I saw a Netflix movie still playing. A bowl of popcorn on the floor, and things got evidently pointed out that I was watching a movie with my boyfriend. Who are you, though? Like, if we don't remember you, who the heckity heck are you?
It's me, Kai.
I couldn't breathe. Kai? That name meant nothing to me, and yet flashes of memories flickered in my mind. Holding hands, whispered conversations, laughter. What? I don't...
It's okay. You had a nightmare, right? I'm here for you. I always will be.
He raised his hand to sweep away the hair out of my face, evidently concerned about what I was saying.
First, remember your name, where you are, and what you're doing.
What's your name? I am Zulu.
Are you sure?
Yeah?
Right. That's you. Now, where are you?
My house?
What were you doing?
Watching a movie and eventually falling asleep.
With?
Okay. Now, here is the true thing here. We already are aware that, like, our character has no recollection of who this gentle sir is. So, we're gonna actually go with the only me. Who are you? It's okay, we can do this all over again. Maybe something went wrong in my spell. Shh, you've forgotten this day. What? What? What just happened? Excuse me? Choose your pronouns. They, them. I woke up slowly, the warmth of another body pressed against me. For a moment, it felt comforting, familiar even. But as my eyes adjusted to the dim light filtering through the curtains, my pulse began to quicken. All I remembered was waking up from a nap beside my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. The realization sent ice through my veins, and I froze. My breathing hitched, and I forced myself to stay still. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe I was still dreaming. But then he stirred beside me, his arms tightening around my waist.
Good morning.
I stared at him dead in the face. This seemed too real. He shifted again, this time propping himself up on one elbow. I felt his gaze burning into me before I turned to meet it. The man, or whatever he was, had a face so perfect, it bordered on unreal. I tried to pull away.
What's wrong?
Around me, I saw a Netflix movie still playing. A bowl of popcorn on the floor, and things that evidently pointed out that I was watching a movie with my boyfriend. Who are you?
It's me, Kai.
Couldn't breathe. Kai? That name meant nothing to me. And yet flashes of memories flickered in my mind, holding hands, whispered conversations, laughter. What? I don't...
It's okay. You had a nightmare, right? I'm here for you. I always will be.
He raised his hand to sweep away the hair out of my face, evidently concerned about what I was saying.
First, remember your name, where you are, and what you're doing.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give our name again. I'm Zuzu.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. That's you. Now, where are you?
My house.
What were you doing?
Watching a movie and eventually falling asleep.
With?
Now, we had originally chosen only me, who are you? And that gave us like a weird. Oh God, I've got lots of questions. Anyways, so my boyfriend for 3 years, Kai. His eyes sparkled and he pulled me in for a hug. I lay still, comforted by the presence of my pillows, blankets, and his arms. Never knew my sofa was this relaxing. He smiled and locked his eyes with mine. You snapped out of your nightmare. His voice was gentle, calming. His hand reached for mine, intertwining our fingers, though I could not help but notice how hesitant he was.
You scared me for a second there. What kind of dream were you having to make you forget me?
He chuckled softly, the sound warm and familiar. My initial unease began to melt away under his gaze. Something about his presence felt grounding, like an anchor in a sea of confusion. Felt so real, like I didn't know you.
Well, I'm here to remind you every day if I have to. Want to tell me about the dream? Or maybe I should just distract you with something better?
Yo. Sorry. You really think that you can distract me that easily?
I'd say I'm pretty good at it.
As to prove it, he pinched my face. It hurt, that was for sure.
See? You're not dreaming. I'm real. We're real.
What an odd feeling I had before. You've always been with me. What was I thinking? Felt his arms around me again, gently resting his face on my shoulders. He seemed to enjoy every last bit of my warmth, as if I would fade away.
Oh, don't worry. I think you're hungry. Maybe breakfast?
Way to switch the subject. Oh, we get to choose? I'm gonna say I want some waffles.
Is that a sign to make some breakfast for you?
Maybe. I mean, you did just offer breakfast. Please? I stood up and stretched the muscles in his arms, flexing as he rolled his shoulders. He walked towards the kitchen, and I couldn't help but laugh at how he looked so unfamiliar with everything. It's totally not suspicious. I leaned back into the couch, listening to the faint sounds of cabinets opening and closing. A small clatter followed. Do you need any help in there? No, I've got this. Sat up, already suspicious. The sound of eggs cracking echoed, followed quickly by the hiss of butter hitting a pan, then silence. Kai? It's fine. Everything's fine. I peeked into the kitchen and couldn't hold back a laugh. I stood by the stove, spatula in hand, staring down at the pan as if it had personally wronged him. Okay, so maybe I lied about being good at this? Maybe. He turned to me with an exaggerated pout. Don't laugh. I wanted to impress you. By burning breakfast? I thought effort counted for something. Scoot over. You're lucky I know how to cook. I'm lucky for more reasons than that. You watched every single one of my movements. I love watching you. Don't just sit there. Get plates. Yes, chef. He jumped up, bumping my shoulder as he passed. This felt easy. This felt like I'd done this a bajillion times. I set up the table with Kai, grabbed some plates and kitchen utensils. He calmly sat on the opposite end of the table to me after he handed them to me. We ate the breakfast that I had whipped up. Waffles. He stuffed his face full, leaving not a single bite behind. Adorable. It's okay, or unfamiliar. Okay, so, we're gonna go the full route of we believe him. Nothing is wrong. We totally have been with this guy for 3 years. And it's just a lapse of memory that when we woke up from our nap. That is all. We're gonna try our best to go ahead and get all of the endings that we can, because clearly from our little beginning of the video there is more than one ending. So we're gonna go ahead and say it's adorable before I could voice those thoughts out loud. That waffle and thank you to rock. I can't really read that, but he's talking with his mouth full, and I think he's saying thank you for the waffles. He enthusiastically wiped his mouth with my handkerchief and smiled happily. He seemed unsure of what to do, and continued looking at me to gauge my reaction. You're welcome. He sat in silence for a few more moments. It was incredibly awkward. Alright, so going to work soon, or are you planning to go to work? Let's go with the are you going to work soon? Work? Like that thing humans do to get money? I'm so sorry, I've known you for 3 years, but why do I feel like I forgot your job? Stood up, panicked. What jobs do you think are attractive? This is because my job is attractive, by the way. Way to not be obvious, bro. Okay. Okay, so we have a couple of options here: doctor, lawyer, firefighter, or wildlife rehabilitator for foxes. That seems very specific. So, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and play along here. A wildlife rehabilitator for foxes. That is quite an attractive job. He nodded his head, deep in thought. You're very right. Foxes are beautiful creatures, and I chose to be a wildlife rehabilitator for foxes since I thought of that. Definitely. I'm going to leave now. I'll arrive at 11 and meet you back up at 2. He scratched his head and sent me a nervous smile. I didn't know that type of job required only 3 hours. Well, mine does. By the way, I feel like I'm forgetting something. An umbrella, a kiss, his work outfit. Let's go ahead and I'm imagining he looks maybe a little bit dressed up for going and doing like rehabilitating stuff with foxes and stuff. So, and I'm very much so. I mean, we're gonna definitely go the route of try to get the good route, and as you guys can't really see, but I have like air quotes. But I'm definitely curious as to whether he has an excuse as to why he's not changing clothes. So, we're gonna go ahead and your work outfit. My boss is chilled, so it's unnecessary. Bye! I suddenly slammed the door. I looked at the place he was standing in a moment ago, wondering if he would be okay. I was consoled by the fact that he was a grown man and could suffice on his own. Despite being utterly confused about his profession, he should be alright. He's pretty reasonable in my memories. Enough about him. I work in a work-at-home shop. Graphic designing. It's a pretty chill job without much to worry about. Unless you get an art block, then it's all over. I decided to go outside first instead of working immediately. I strolled casually through my neighborhood. It's a small one, but it's always heavily comforted me. I knew everyone here, and everyone knew me too. This is the place I've stayed in for around 15 years, ever since I was a teenager, and I'm not planning to move out at all. It's in the most impactful way possible my home. My family wanted to move into a big city of Tokyo years ago for my education, and this area was the most peaceful and cheapest one I could find. I looked around on the left side. Granny Lily said she's out of town for the week. Jenny's probably on her way to get her office work right now, and Liam is definitely at home snoring his guts off. Zuzu! I turned my head around, wondering who suddenly called me out. I was greeted by the smiling face of Mr. Ray, a single father living a few rooms away from me. Who was that pretty boy I saw that came over last night? I grinned at him. Alright, so again, you and I and everybody else already knows there's something fishy about Kai, but we're gonna play along. My boyfriend. Oh? For how long? 3 years. What? How come I've never seen him before? You should introduce me to him. He comes over very often, though. Why are you lying? He hasn't. I wouldn't know. I hear everything going on inside these thin walls. Sure, sir. I mean, this just further points out that, something's up. But that's kind of an odd way to try to prove your point. But it proves your point. So, you always notice when my daughter visits, don't you? Right, and I don't remember ever introducing him to you either, which I should have done already. You told me you were single last week too. Wait, my phone's ringing. I hope you get that sorted out, Zuzu. Ray left in a rush, retrieving the phone that was ringing non-stop inside of his apartment. I continued my stroll, but now with something etched deep in the back of my mind. Everything seemed so odd with Kai, which is impossible. I remembered our first car trip together, our first meeting in the rain, our everything. Cleared my thoughts and focused deeply until I got distracted by a pair of fox ears in the back of some bushes. Oh, look at those little ears! There were shadows of what seemed to be a dog or a fox. I walked calmly into the bushes, trying not to alert the fox. Wah! A very humane sound came from the bushes. Totally not a fox. Cosplay? Child with fake fox ears? Alright, so we have a decision to make. Are you alright? Is somebody there? Or we can scream back at it. You know what? We're gonna scream back at the thing that screamed at us. Why not? Ah! Swear. Being over the top. Okay, so the pair of fox ears disappeared from the line of view. I was very curious to say the least. I checked in the bushes one more time, making sure I didn't miss anything at all. Found a little pin, one looking like it belonged to a traditional kimono dress. Better keep it to return and apologize for scaring the young cosplayer away. It's time to get back to work. Hurrah, hurrah! Let's check it up on what my boss sent me. I haven't started at all, but I already have a headache. Pitter-patter all day on my laptop until the clock turned 2 p.m. It's about time that I stop for the day, and Kai will arrive soon too. Ring, ring. That must be the sound of the doorbell. I ran over to the front door and greeted Kai. I'm back. He smiled at me gently, his eyes crinkling at the corners. He looked a little disheveled, his collar loosened and hair slightly tousled, but still as charming as ever. Welcome home. Tease him or help him with his bag. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna help him with his bag. We're gonna be the wonderful significant other. I reached out to take his bag, but he quickly pulled it back. Oh. Maybe that wasn't a good decision. No, I got it. You don't have to do everything for me, you know? But I want to. He was clearly reluctant about the bag, but allowed me to handle it. I set his bag down by the couch and he followed me into the living room. Curious, why is your work so little? 3 hours? My boss is cool. Anyways, I can't wait to show you what I found while walking to work. What? I'm actually so excited to tell you. Wear your shoes right now. We're going outside. I'm in the middle of work. Kai looked at me and rolled his eyes. Fine. Coming. I barely agreed when he had dragged me into a shopping district, weaving through stores like he had had some grand plan. We stopped in front of a jewelry store, the sunlight glinting off of the display cases like a scene straight out of a romantic drama. Really? Jewelry store?
What? You don't think I have good taste?
Oh, now the voice acting is back. Have I been just going too fast through the talking points? And so maybe. We'll wait an extra second from now on. Because, like, I want to play the game the way it was intended. There is voice acting. I don't want to accidentally skip over it. He opened the door with a flourish, gesturing for me to go in.
After you, my liege.
What's gotten into you?
I was passing by earlier and saw something interesting. Come on, humor me.
Followed him inside, the cool air of the shop washing over us. The room was quiet, save for the soft hum of displayed lights and faint murmur of the shopkeeper chatting with another customer. Kai wandered immediately to the case in the center, his eyes sparkling as he leaned closer to inspect the items inside. Alright, so our options are planning to buy yourself a diamond necklace, or you'd look good with sapphire. I feel like sapphire would be a good color for him. He shot me a look, his lips twitching into a smile.
I'd look stunning in emeralds, thank you very much.
Bold choice, really brings out your eyes. He chuckled, but his attention quickly returned to the display, a step closer following his gaze. It wasn't the flashy pieces that caught his eye, but something simpler, a delicate silver ring with a subtle fox motif etched into it. That one's nice.
Yeah, it is.
There was something in his voice, a wistfulness I hadn't heard before. He straightened, clearing his throat, and turned to me with a grin that didn't quite reach his eye.
What about you? Anything catch your eye?
Not really the jewelry type. Not really the jewelry type, to be honest. Yep, not even a simple ring. This question hung in the air for a moment longer than it should have, and I felt heat creep up my neck. Why? You planning to buy me one? What if I am? Rolled my eyes, trying to ignore the flutter in my chest. Then I'd say you're terrible at surprises. You're supposed to be sneaky about it. Fair point. But I'd rather you pick something you actually like. Makes it more special, doesn't it? Stared at him, unsure if he was joking or not, but before I could respond to his attention, shifted to a different display. Alright, so we actually have to kind of just choose something. I guess bracelets? I really don't wear jewelry, y'all. I've been eyeing the bracelets. Kai pointed to a bracelet. It's a design simple but elegant with tiny charms shaped like stars. And this would suit you. Not too flashy, but just enough to stand out. You've thought about this a lot, haven't you? Maybe. I glanced at the bracelet, then back at him. I went way too far ahead. You're being weird today, you know that? Weird or romantic? Definitely weird. He laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. We left the store eventually with no purchases, but lingering lightness in the air. I kept stealing glances at me as we walked down the street, a soft smile on his face. You know, you look good in that bracelet. Stop trying to charm me, Kai. Is it working? Maybe, but you still owe me dinner for dragging me around. He laughed, draping an arm around my shoulders as we continued down the street. Anything for you, future bracelet wearer? Dork. When we get home, he suddenly glanced my way. I wondered why, but I heard the clock tick 6 p.m. and the rumble of his stomach. What's for dinner? Okay, so we get to choose. There is inari sushi, meat covered in garlic, or burgers. We'll be nice, we'll be nice. I'm having a feeling based off of, well, one, the cover art for the game, and then the little fox ears that were in the bushes, and just the sheer fact of all of the coincidental aspects that keep leading to fox. So, I'm gonna guess that they would like something to do with a fish. Fish probably would be a good choice, so let's go ahead and go with the sushi. Made your favorite, inari sushi. You spoil me too much. He sat down at the table and fiddled with his chopsticks, tapping them lightly on the edge of his plate as I placed the dishes in front of him. He took a bite and let out an exaggerated sigh, leaning back in his chair. You're amazing. Marry me? Never met my mom, Kai. That doesn't mean I can't ask again. He flashed that cheeky grin and I rolled my eyes, but couldn't stop myself from smiling. The room was cozy, lit by the warm glow of the television. Kai was sprawled on the couch, his head resting on a pillow while I sat cross-legged on the floor, attempting to solve a jigsaw puzzle that I had found buried under some old books. You could help, you know. Nah, you look like you got it under control. I've been staring at this one piece for 10 minutes. It doesn't fit anywhere. Sounds like a you problem. Tossed the puzzle piece at him, and it hit his shoulder before bouncing onto the couch. Hey, that's salt. Called justice. Now get down here and help me before I lose my mind. I groaned dramatically, but slid off the couch, plopping down next to me. He picked up a random piece and inspected it like it was a rare artifact. This one clearly goes here. He attempted to force it into a spot that was blatantly wrong. Seriously? That's not even the same color. Art is subjective. This isn't art. It's a puzzle. He leaned closer to inspect the puzzle. Fine. Watch and learn, master puzzler at work. He spent the next few moments picking up pieces, pretending to study them intensely, and then trying to jam them into spots that obviously didn't belong. You're the worst at this. Excuse me, I'm contributing. Moral support counts. Your moral support is morally bankrupt. He made a show of sighing deeply, like I had just insulted his entire family. Okay, I admit it. You suck at puzzles, but you love me anyway, right? It's debatable. He gasped, clutching his chest dramatically. Debatable? After all that we've been through, the breakfasts I've burned for you. Breakfasts you've burned are the main reason it's debatable. I chuckled, grabbing a piece and finally placing it in the correct spot. Ha! Look at that! I'm a genius! Congratulations, you've solved one piece out of 1,000. Baby steps. Couldn't help but sigh. His smug grin was contagious, and despite his uselessness, having him there made the puzzle feel less frustrating. Okay, let's make a deal. If you can place 5 more pieces correctly, we'll go stargazing, we'll watch a movie, or we go to sleep. We end the day. We'll go stargazing. Kai looked at me, his eyes sparkling with determination. Deal, prepared to be amazed. Got to work, his tongue poking out slightly as he concentrated. I greatly enjoyed watching him struggle. By the time he managed to fit 5 more pieces, we were both laughing so hard we had to stop and catch our breath. Wow, you really put in the effort. I'm impressed. Told you, I'm a genius. Now about that reward? You're lucky you're cute. I know, now. Chop chop! I've earned this. After solving the puzzle, I tugged my hand and led me outside. I resisted slightly, but he tugged at me forcefully anyway.
I know you were staring at a computer screen all day today.
I wasn't. We stopped suddenly in the middle of the road in front of my house. The air felt cool and refreshing. I pointed up to the sky.
Hey, come here. Look at that. It's like someone spilled glitter all over the sky.
This is such an adorable little, like, CG. It's cute. Aww. And then, yeah, I can see, like, I think this is supposed to be, like, the stars and stuff. Like, it's so cute. Romantic much? He turned to look at me and tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. His touch lingered just a little longer than necessary, and it felt my cheeks heat up.
This sky. This exact one comforted me so much back when I was younger. The change of scenery from Akigawa Valley to Tokyo was absolutely insane, but all of the stars remained.
Okay, so you used to live in the forest? This all happened 3 years ago? Why did you move? I feel like these are all relatively valid questions. So, you used to live in the forest? I scratched the back of his nape and smiled sheepishly.
Wait, just continue listening to my story. All of the stars remained, and there were new stars too. You.
Huh? You're being cheesy.
You love it. You know, I think I could stay like this forever. Just you and me under the stars.
That does sound nice. He shifted closer and wrapped an arm around my shoulders, pulling me against him. I could feel his heartbeat steady and calm as I rested my hand on his chest. His fingers intertwined with mine, and we stayed there for a few moments, saying anything.
Promise me something?
What?
That no matter how busy we get, we always make time for this.
Stargazing?
And just being together.
Closed my eyes, letting the sound of his breathing and the distant chirp of crickets lull me into a sense of peace. Well, there's literally no other option, so...
Good, because I don't think I could survive without you.
That's dramatic.
But true.
We sat there in comfortable silence, watching the stars. You know, I could sit here forever, just like this. I always wanted to go to the moon one day. Wanna go with me? Don't tempt me. Might actually take you up on that. Good. Then maybe I should tempt you more often. He laughed softly, his voice blending with the gentle rustling of the leaves in the breeze. I tilted my head to look up at him, catching the way the starlight danced in his eyes. You ever wonder what it'd be like to just leave everything behind? Start fresh somewhere? Like, running away? Not exactly. More like finding somewhere where it's quiet, peaceful. Like Akigawa Valley? Maybe. I think about it all the time, but then I remember something important. What's that? It's not the place that makes it peaceful, it's the person you're with. I felt my heart skip a beat at his words. I opened my mouth to respond, but he shifted, leaning down just enough to rest his forehead against mine. You're my peace, you know that? Even if I was on the moon and you, as I've always dreamt, I would refuse to go if it wasn't with you. I pull away or accept it. We'll accept the more than likely keys that's gonna come in our direction because we're going the route of we believe his lies, that we totally know him and he's not like fox boy in disguise that is for some reason wanting to like I don't know, I imagine we'll get more more answers as the story unfolds. So, accept it. Before I could finish, he closed the distance between us, his lips brushing mine softly. It was warm, tender, and completely disarming. When he pulled back, his eyes searched mine for a reaction, and I knew my flustered expression gave everything away. Was that okay? More than okay. He grinned, his thumb gently brushing against my cheek. Good, because I've been wanting to do that for a while. To see galaxies unfolding in your eyes. And you waited until now? Stars deserve to see it too. I laughed, the sound light and free. I rested my head against his shoulder again. The night stretched out, but neither of us seemed to care. For a moment, under the endless glittering sky, everything felt perfect. I felt myself being drowsy and drifted into sleep. My legs buckling. Felt a pair of arms carrying me to our room, opening the lock of our door and dropping me off on my bed. Felt a pair of arms patting me slowly and soothing me into sleep. Felt someone's body on me, cuddling me all night. And then I dreamt. One day I found a fox calmly resting on the streets of my neighborhood. It was odd, strange. No way a fox could end up in the streets of a small town in Tokyo. To be honest, I didn't think much of how it ended up or where it came from. I was only 13 years old. The first thing I did was search up what type of food foxes like. My phone screen glowed in the dim streetlight as I crouched near it, careful not to startle the little creature. It didn't run, didn't even flinch, just stared at me with those sharp amber eyes, like it had already decided I wasn't a threat. Hey, you okay? Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. Its ears twitched, but it stayed still, curled up like it belonged right there, between the cracks in the pavement. The fur along its back was messy and matted in places, and its tail looked thinner than it should have. My heart was squeezed a little as I glanced back at my phone. Foxes eat meat, eggs, berries? Huh? You don't exactly look like you'd be into berries. I opened my bag and rummaged through it, finally pulling out the sandwich I hadn't touched earlier. The smell of turkey and bread seemed to catch the fox's attention. It lifted its head slightly, nose twitching. Yeah, you want this? Broke off a piece and held it out. It hesitated at first, eyes flicking between me and the food, but hunger won out. Slowly and carefully, it stepped closer and took the bread from my fingers. It barely breathed as it chewed, and something about the way it stayed near me made the street feel less lonely. There, not so scary, right? I sat down, resting my back against the cold brick wall. The fox settled a foot away, watching me as if it wasn't sure what to make of me yet. I couldn't help but smile. I'll come back tomorrow, too. Food, pillows, whatever you need. Don't be scared. I woke up slowly, the light streaming in through the curtain. The warmth of Guy's body next to me was oddly comforting, but a lingering sense of unease tugged at me. Memories of yesterday flickered in my mind. Kai, strange dream like haze, and those fox ears in the bushes. Kai stirred his arm, tightening around my waist before he whispered groggily, "Morning, love. Morning." Slept well? I was until you started stealing all the blankets. Not my fault. You were hogging the blankets anyways. Excuse me? There's the one wrapped up like a burrito right now. He pretended to think deeply. Guilty. But can you blame me? Cold. Then maybe you should stop leaving the window open at night. But I like the fresh air, and I like waking up next to you even more. Smooth, but I'm not making breakfast again. Aw, at least I tried. Though you know, I'd always love you even if you were making breakfast or not. Speaking of breakfast, while you were sleeping last night, I tried to do some work in the kitchen. I cleaned it up, though. Don't be mad. I found out yesterday how to make pancakes for you. I hope it's to your taste. You made pancakes for me? Yeah. He woke up and scurried me over to the table in the living room. He proudly presented the pancakes to me. It looked like something. It definitely does not look completely appetizing. Try it. I hesitantly took a bite, holding on my stomach for safety. How is it? Horrible or amazing? We're gonna be nice about it. Really? You think so? I'm not dumb, and I know that this is quite bad, but your words made me feel a lot better. I'll improve in cooking for you. I'll do everything. He had his hands in a fist and raised it up and determined. Kai sat across from me, watching intently as I poked at the pancake with my fork. The food wasn't a problem. It was quiet. A stillness hung in the air, too heavy for a typical morning. So, you really made this all by yourself last night? He nodded eagerly. Of course, I wanted to surprise you. You deserved it. His words were warm, but something about his tone. It was too deliberate, like he was trying too hard. My eyes drifted into his hands. They were clasped on the table, but his fingers were still too controlled, as if he was consciously stopping them from fidgeting. Well, it's definitely a surprise. You're full of them lately, huh? Kai's head tilted slightly, his gaze locking onto mine. Is that a bad thing? There it was again, that same strange feeling from yesterday, like his words didn't quite match the moment. I shifted in my chair, glancing at the window. The curtains fluttered in the breeze, letting in the golden morning light, but the warmth I usually felt wasn't there. The house was colder than it should have been, quieter too. No birds outside, no faint hum of life, just the sound of my own breathing and Kai's steady gaze. No, it's not a bad thing, just you've been different lately. Different how? Opened my mouth, but the words caught in my throat. How could I explain it? The sense of wrongness I couldn't pin down, the way the world seemed just a little bit off. I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining things. You've been tense. Are you okay? You'd tell me if something was wrong, wouldn't you? There was a sincerity in his voice, but it only made the unease worse. His concern felt too perfect, like a mask molded to fit the situation. I smiled weakly, trying to shake the feeling, but as I looked into his eyes, I swore for just a moment they flickered. Not the unusual light catching at amber, something else, something unnatural. I think I need some air. I'll come with you. No, it's fine. You've already done enough this morning. I just need a minute. Kai hesitated, his eyes narrowing slightly, but he leaned back in his chair, letting me go. As I stepped toward the door, the weight of his gaze burned into my back. Outside, the fresh air did little to calm me. The world was too quiet, stillness pressing against my skin. I glanced towards the woods at the edge of the property, and that's when I saw it. Rose near the door, faint, muddy paw prints trailed across the floor. My heart raced. I glanced back toward the room I came from, where Kai was still eating alone, and then knelt to inspect the prints. They were small and delicate, too big for a cat, but too small for a dog. Fox? Followed the prints. I felt completely distracted by them. What if it was the fox I met when I was younger? Standing at the edge of the footprints was a petite girl with short silver hair, box-shaped earrings, and a nervous expression. Her eyes locked onto mine before fitting down to the floor. Hi, I'm Rin. Sorry to bother you, but I think I dropped something here yesterday. Oh, what was it? A pin. It looks purple. I remembered the pin from yesterday and pulled it out of my pocket. This one? Face lit up. Yes, thank you so much. I didn't mean to scare you yesterday. I was just around. Around? Rin looked away, fidgeting nervously. Just exploring. Anyway, again. She turned to leave, but I stepped forward. Wait, you're just exploring? What were you looking for? She paused, her back still turned to me. My mentor, Kai Yamaori. That's my boyfriend, I think. You look too young to be interning at his workplace. The little girl had barely reached my shoulders, stared at me dead in my eyes, her mouth widened. Is this what people do when they get older? Do what? She stomped on the ground, frustrated. Ignore all job responsibilities and their students and chase some person. So he goes to work every day. What do you mean? Oh, he does? You're lying so much. She rubbed her temples, suddenly reminding me of an old man, wondering where she had gotten that from. I haven't seen him teaching me at all. So his job is to teach you. No, it's so much more, but Dad won't tell me. He's not safe. Alright, so do you have a special person you chase? Do you want to hear about my friend Haru? Oh? Well, I don't think it's the same way Kai chases you, but he's so annoying. I have to keep running after him. Wait, this isn't about me. Sorry about his time. That's right, you should apologize. You seem so much nicer than that guy. I want to learn already, but he keeps pushing me away. Almost like he hates foxes. He hates himself. She lowered her head and went quiet for a while. I want Dad to trust me like he trusts him. Another moment of silence ensues. What did you say about him not being safe? Dad told me not to find him, not to stay near him, but I did anyways because I'm a model student. She came close to me and whispered in my ear. Kai's in danger. People are out to catch him. What? She leaned back and turned her head around to see if others were near us, just like a schoolgirl telling her friends about a crush. My dad told me about this. No, we've dated for 3 years, and I've known him for 2 years before that. How could this happen? Hey, I'm 11, so 3 years ago, I was 9, right? Yeah, that's right. Good job. She beamed proudly. I tried hard in human school. Also, 3 years ago, Kai was serving at my father's right hand. He was the one teaching me instead of those human teachers. I don't think so. Maybe 3 years ago. Suddenly not remembering what happened 3 years ago. Tell me what happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I should remember, but it's all a bit fuzzy. Rin glanced over her shoulder, the tension in her shoulders melting into an awkward fidget. She chewed on her lip, her silver hair catching the sunlight as it swayed in the breeze. I'm assuming that the writing had changed after they had already done the drawings, because the little lovely girl here has brown hair, but we'll roll with it. Forget I said anything. I'm probably just being weird. Yeah, that's it. Weird. Rin, wait! Before I could take a step forward, Rin turned abruptly, her small frame a blur as she darted down the street. Her fox-shaped earrings bounced with each hurried step, and soon she was nothing but a flicker of silver disappearing into the distance. Rin, wait! The only response was the faint echo of her sneakers on the pavement, swallowed by the stillness of the evening. What just happened?